what's going on, you guys? You got Coach over here, and this is going to be your back and chest toning workout. We're going to work in supersets for back and chest, and we're going to work with a set of dumbbells and a mini loop resistance band. So be ready to rock and roll. We're going to get started off with our warm-up. As always, please modify however you need to for today for your body. All right, you know your limitations best. I'm going to push you and guide you, and I'll offer some modifications along the way as well where I see fit. So that way, if you need a little help, I'm there for you. But I'll also show you how you can turn it up even more if you would like. Okay, that way, no matter where you're at, we'll get a good workout in, don't you worry. All right, but of course, as always, the heavier, with any type of strength training, the heavier weight you use or resistance you use, like a stronger band or heavier dumbbells, okay, the more intense the workout's gonna be. So just keep that in mind. Maybe have a few different weights to work with in case you're not sure. All right, but if all you have is one of each, then so be it. We'll work with it. All right, so today's workout is gonna be focused on chest and back, nice big muscles. Of course, we're gonna have a little bit of, you know, secondary movers kicking in here, helping out. But for the most part, that's where our focus is gonna be. I want us to get a nice full body warm up in though, so that way our blood's pumping through the full body. This is mostly a standing workout. We have a couple moves on the ground, all right? Or you could use a bench or a chair if you need to, so go ahead and grab that whenever you feel like you need to get it nearby, all right? But we're gonna work in 30-second intervals today. That'll be a good amount of time to keep us in about a hypertrophy range, right, if you're using a moderate weight, okay? We have 10 seconds rest between each exercise, 30 seconds at each, 3 rounds at each superset. So 30, 10, 3 times, and then we move on to the next move, okay? So when you are ready to rock and roll, we're not gonna have a lot of downtime between the moves. It's gonna be mostly, sorry, brain fart, my goodness. Mostly just transition, take a deep breath, shake out the muscles, because we're using alternate muscle groups, okay? So we're not gonna need a lot of downtime between each bout of work, okay? So if you feel like you're gonna need a chair, grab a chair, all right? If you are just not feeling like getting on the ground, I'm obviously 9 months pregnant, so I'll be getting on the ground, but I'm gonna be modifying along the way. So if that's where you're at too, you could just join me on the floor. But get ready, we're gonna jump right into our workout, starting with all of our resistance band moves. So we're gonna start off with a resistance band lat pull down. If you don't have a mini loop, you can even make it work with one of those long ones. You just might have to adjust your grip a little bit. Some of these moves, I'll show you how. But otherwise, let's begin. We're gonna alternate pulling that elbow down to the hip, keeping that top arm stiff and in place. So a little bit of tension outwards, alternating as we pull down on each side, okay? So belly in tight, make sure you're not hyperextending through those hips or arching your back. You wanna keep a nice, tall, strong posture. Here for 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so that was our back move. Now we're gonna work chest. Okay, so you see how we're gonna work today? We're gonna hold that band at our chest, a little bit of tension on it, all right? So not just here, but out, and we're gonna press out in front of us, keeping it directly in front of the shoulders. Begin. And again, just hold a stance that's good for you, that's comfortable for you. If you're prenatal, you're tired, and you did this workout because you didn't want to move your legs, you can do a lot of these moves sitting down too, and still get your workout in sitting down. All right, something is better than nothing, okay, especially in these final months, okay? So if you feel really low energy, but you still want to do something productive, all right, if you feel fit to sit down during a move, then sit down, that's fine. All right, going back to the top. So that was 1 round, we got 2 more to go. Lat pull downs in 3, 2, 1, begin. We're gonna do all of our resistance band moves to start, and then we're gonna knock out those dumbbell moves. I'm using my second lightest resistance band. Again, if you're looking for a little help on where your intensity should be. Make sure we're really activating the back. So pulling those lats down the body, and rest. All right. And then again, pushing it back out. So pretty simple, alternating, that way we're not getting too bored. Just kidding. 3, 2, 1, begin. With the resistance band, right, remember, we're not just going through the motion, we're also active in the non-moving limb, okay? So for this hand that's at the chest, it's not just hanging out there, it's stabilizing, okay? Stabilizing against the movement of the band, the pull of the band. Here for 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so one more time for each. If you feel like you're feeling good, that was maybe a little too easy, grab the next band up, challenge yourself for this final round. In 3, 2, 1, back to pull down. So again, I like this version of lat pull downs, especially while you're prenatal, because you can't really do pull-ups. And if you don't have access to a gym, you can't do lat pull downs. So how do you pull from overhead? This is it. Good, almost there for 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right, going back to that chest press again. So while I'm here, I'm not letting that band pull this inside arm. It stays out, active towards my outside. Laterally active, I should say. Good, chest proud. Again, make sure you're not, especially if you're expecting, you're not starting to do all this. You want to keep that belly pulled in. 2, 1, and rest. All right, so we have a nice long break for a minute. Okay, just 30 seconds, quick drink if you need it. I don't know why I dropped the band, we're going back to the band. Okay, we have a corrective resistance band fly. So we're gonna place that just below the wrists. All right, so this arm is non-moving. The opposite arm is going to fly out. So back exercise. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Then we have a stiff arm pull down. So we're gonna activate that chest downwards. Begin with your fly, alternating sides. Right, left. I want your elbows locked at a 90. And I want you to try to keep those elbows in line with your shoulders. Try to keep your wrists in line with the elbows as well. And rest. Woo! That one gets all those little guys in here. Okay. Stiff arm pull down. So holding that band overhead, keeping your arms stiff, dropping it down, alternating sides. Okay, so I'm not hyperextending at the elbow. Okay, it's stiff arm. It's not, I'm not overly straightening it. All right, I'm still keeping a little bit of a bend in that elbow. Good, and try to keep that band high overhead. Not completely overhead, but at an angle. And rest. All right, so that was one round, 2 more. All right, so again, boom, we're here. You're gonna feel a lot of those little muscles surrounding the shoulders kick in. Corrective fly, let's go. This one's really, really good for your posture. Especially if you notice that you tend to hunch forward around your upper back. Woo! I can feel I'm weak here. It's burning. Good. For 3, 2, 1, and rest. Oh, all right, back to our stiff arm pull down. So I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to drive that hand down. So think you're pressing against something, but you're not using your elbow to do it. Be good? So when I say my elbow stays slightly bent, it's just locked in that slightly bent position. Take your time, we're not rushing. Think about 8 to 12 reps per interval.
our first time, our first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste
2,
time to
1,
my
and
place.
rest. All right, one more time for these, and then we're moving on. We got our last set of resistance band work. If you're feeling eager beaver and you want to move, you can just kind of keep those legs busy in our off times. Back to our tractor fly. Again, if you want a higher intensity workout, use a heavier weight. But really be mindful with these bands. Check in with where your body's at. Alignment. And rest. Oh. Okay, so elbow is in line with that shoulder as it moves separately. All right, stiff arm pull down last time here. Begin. And again, it's not a race. If you like the actual push, you can open your palms, turn them down. I like to have a grip. Forces me to really activate here. Here for 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Next, moving on. Last set of work with band. We have a standing row. So just so you could also bend over if you would like to give your low back a little isometric work. All right. But standing row. So we're here. We're gonna pull in, keeping that elbow tight. So I'm not pulling out here, pulling in tight to the body, past the rib cage. Okay. Then we're gonna do an overhead press with that band inside. So we're gonna be activated outwards as we press up and down. So let's go right into it with that row. Again, you can be in this bent over position if you would like. Right, so a hinge, belly in tight. We do have another row coming up where we'll be here. So if this isn't the most comfortable for you, keep it standing. 2, 1, and rest. All right, so next, we're gonna put that band in just like our corrected fly. All right, now I'm not just here, right? It's loose. Activate. Add that tension. Press overhead. Bring it back down in front of your chest. Boom. So this one, a little bit of chest, a little bit of back. All right, it is a little bit of both. So try not to bounce and try to keep that band the same width at all times. 2, 1, and rest. Oh, that one hurts so good. Okay, right here, right behind, right in that like shoulder blade area. Back to our row in 3, 2, 1, begin. So if you pull a little lower, right, you can kind of play with where you would like. The lower you pull, the different target you're gonna be working on for your row. So if you keep it high, it's gonna be a little more upper back. Or if you pull lower, you're gonna feel deeper in those lats. Here for 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right, back to our overhead press. So again, a little bit of tension at all times, keeping those elbows, wrists, and shoulders in one nice line. Begin. And get to full extension at the top. So I want those biceps in line with the ears at the very top of the move. Woo! Burn it. It's burning. You got it, you guys. Stay with it. 2, 1, and rest. All right. One more round for each. We're almost there. Shake it out. Couple little over-unders. 2, 1, begin. Back to our row. So same thing, we're locking this arm, right? Notice my hand is directly in front of that shoulder. I'm not letting the band pull me inwards, okay? Keeping it in place. It's not pulling me in, okay? here for 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right, last time, back to our overhead press. Again, this one, it doesn't look like a lot. It's not really that much, but it's that small activation outwards. And begin. Again, bring it all the way in, all the way out. Good, stay with it. Whew. Check in with those hips, with those knees. 2, 1, and rest. All right, moving on. Okay, band down, we're done with it. Grab your bells. We have a bent over overhead raise, okay? So I'm gonna use just one dumbbell. This one's challenging. You're gonna hinge, and you're gonna bring it all the way up, all right, over your head. Okay, so that way you're landing in this position, but you're just in a hinge, okay? If that's too hard, you can do it standing, all right, but you're gonna probably wanna go a little heavier. It's gonna be a little easier. In 3, 2, 1, begin. So this one, it's easy to try to swing it or use momentum. I really want to avoid that. I want to stay focused. And staying in control. Draw that belly in. Two, 1, and rest. All right. Next, we have a chest fly. So again, if this is a little too hard with your set of dumbbells that you have, you can alternate hands just to make it a little easier. Otherwise, we're here, 2 bells, 2 hands, squeezing together and then opening back out. Elbows locked at 90, in line with the shoulders. In control, boom. Two, 1, and rest. All right, so I know it feels a little awkward, but remember, especially for prenatal, it's hard to, you can't really get on your back to work out. All right, maybe you can, but probably not towards the end. So I want to bring you moves that you don't need a bench, because maybe you don't even have a bench. Maybe you just have a dinner table chair that's not inclined at all. You gotta work with what you got. Back to our overhead raise if you're not here already. And again, when you get to that full extension, make sure you're in control before you let that bell come back down. Boom. And rest. All right, back to our chest fly. Okay, so really focus on that squeeze inwards, especially at the elbows. 3, 2, 1, begin. So we're not just touching the bells, we're trying to touch those elbows. Whew, almost there for 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, last time for each, going back to our overhead raise. Again, remember on our last rounds, maybe try to challenge yourself with a little heavier of a weight if you can. Begin, but we don't want to lose control. Good, good, stay with it. Belly in tight. Two, 1, and rest. All right. Finishing off. Grab that other bell, chest flies. Last time in 3, 2, 1, begin. Release, again, focus on touching those elbows together. That's where you're gonna really feel those pecs activate. But we have to stabilize to move through this range of motion here. So it's not just that squeeze, right? It's a whole move. That's where we're really gonna get that big chest activation, and rest. All right, so we can come on the ground next. This is where you might need a bench or a chair because we have some push-ups. All right, so if you don't have anything, okay, you're gonna do your push-ups, tabletop if you need to modify. Okay, if you're prenatal, just go as low as you can for your belly, or you can even walk it low, low, high, high. Our other move is going to an upright fly. So holding those belts out in front of you here, we're gonna squeeze that back to open them up. Let's begin. So again, if you're getting fatigued, you can alternate and go right side, left side. Right, if you don't have lighter weights to work with. You can even grab your band and do it too, a light band. I prefer a supinated grip personally, so palms up. And rest. Woo! If you do have a bench or a chair, you can still do your push-up like on your feet, or you can even do it on your knees if you really need to modify. All right, but in 3, 2, 1, begin. So you might not get as low, your belly's in the way like me, that's okay. Keep those elbows in tight, push that ground away. Open up the hands. Three, 2, 1. Woo! Tough. Okay. So that was round 1. We got 2 more. How are you feeling? How's the chest feeling? I'm feeling like all those little surrounding muscles on my shoulders too. They're whining right now at me. So you could stand up for this too if you'd like. I just don't feel like it's a struggle getting up and down these days. So unless I'm doing sprawls, try to pick one or the other. 2, 1, and rest. So while we're doing these upright flies, I want to focus on keeping those elbows pinched in. So we're trying to get this rotational movement in here, okay? Begin. It's not going to feel like a very big move. That's okay. It's not supposed to be. Good, stay with it. 10 seconds. Come on, you're strong. Let's go. Push through. No excuses. And rest. You can rest at the end of the workout. All right, last round for each of these. 3, 2, 1, begin. Chest open, elbows in. Maybe those palms up. Squeeze those dumbbells. Give yourself a little power boost. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, last set for our push-ups. Get ready to rock and roll. I'm a very minimalist style workout. Workouter? What's that word? Athlete? I don't like to use a lot of equipment if I don't need to, so you see me getting on the ground and modifying versus using a chair if I really don't need to. Good. I like to keep it as functional as possible. Use just my body as much as possible. And rest. All right, you guys. Last set of work of the day, last supersets. So we have renegade row. So again, from a chair, bench, or just in a table if you need to modify. If not, you're in a plank and we're pulling those dumbbells up, alternating sides, and then we're gonna finish side plank to side plank. So here's modified on the ground, or you can be elevated to modify, otherwise side plank to side plank. Let's begin renegade rows. So if you want like a little halfway between table And plank, you can do the planking table like I'm doing here. So your hips are low, your knees are back. That way you're a little more active in the core still. Pulling those dumbbells tight to the body, past the rib cage, and rest. All right, so next is side plank to side plank. So to modify, okay, again, keep a knee down as you flip over the hip. You can do no dumbbells, you can do dumbbells. Begin. You're obviously gonna go a little slower with dumbbells. Than if you didn't. But it's up to you. Weight or unweighted, knees, feet, or on a chair. Even a wall if you have to. And rest. You just won't use weight, but you can do it against the wall too. All right, back to our renegade row. Round number 2. If you're burning, don't quit. You made it this far, let's begin. Push through it. Remember, it's making you stronger. Fight that fatigue. Your body can do it. Your mind's just got to decide. 10 seconds. 2, 1, and rest. Taking my full rest in these 10 seconds. Shake it out. Give my back a break in 3, 2, 1, begin. Good. And reach that dumbbell, reach that hand, reach that dumbbell up high. Don't just whip your arm up there. Reach for it. Keep those hips up. Push the floor away. And rest. Okay, so the side planks, chest and back, same with that renegade row. Okay, so if we're just here and we're falling into our joints, you're not gonna get that activation. Last set, let's go. Last round, best round. Come on. And rest. All right, you guys. Last 30 seconds of the day, let's go. Don't rush it. Stay focused, but get high quality reps in. Come on. Like I said, push that floor away and reach. Reach up, 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 high, high, high. Come on, let's go. No lollygagging, 10 seconds left. 2, 1, and break. All right, you guys, let's shake it out on your feet. Just a quick cool down. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the workout, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what your favorite superset was. All right, if you like these splits with strength training, especially if you're prenatal. All right, sometimes it's nice to work out but not feel like you're overexerting every part of your body as much as possible. So let me know. And subscribe if you haven't already. That way every time I post a new workout, I can yell at you. You can join me. We'll stay fit together. All right, take some time to stretch at the end if you need it. But otherwise, you're done for the day. So thank you so much for joining me. Till next time, stay strong, stay tough.